Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So there's something that is so sneaky and so pervasive in our society that is absolutely an obstacle to you getting and staying pregnant, and that is fragrance. Fragrance is one of the things that is so sneaky and insidious, and it's everywhere, and people don't understand the weight that it carries in you having really good reproductive function. And today we're going to talk about why you need to stay away from fragrance and what you can do instead, but also mostly just why you need to stay away from fragrance in your TTC journey. But as a reminder, I'm Bianca, fertility diet and lifestyle coach, professionally trained chef, and holistic nutritionist, and I help people get and stay pregnant, and I hope that this video helps you do the same. So this is me going on record and saying that fragrance is terrible. Fragrance is terrible just for general health, but it's even worse when we are talking about fertility and reproduction. Here's the thing that you need to remember about fragrance. Fragrance can be claimed as a proprietary formula for a lot of companies. So perfume, if there's like fragrance in cream, if there's fragrance in anything, it can be framed as a proprietary blend and therefore not told to us exactly what's in it. And there can be hidden over 200 chemicals within fragrance on a label of a product. Now, here's the thing about toxic load. When we think about our fertility, where our hormones are made, where they are managed, where they are removed if they are in excess, that is our liver. And fragrance is especially terrible for our liver function because it is simply a toxin. There is nothing that our bodies can derive from something like fragrance or, whatever is in that fragrance, and it has to be removed from our body as a toxin. If you are wearing perfume, if you have Febreze plugged in, if you spread air freshener all over your house, you are asking your body to detox toxins that are not necessary for you. And I know there's a lot of people that say, well, I'll stink, Bianca. I like things to smell nice. This is where I encourage you to open a window. This is where I encourage you to take a second shower if you need it. This is where I encourage you to find other ways to smell nice or neutral, because the goal of life is not to smell fruity like a peach orchard or clean summer sheets. If you want clean summer sheets, clean your sheets. Lie in them. And the thing about fragrance that I really want you to remember as well is there are chemicals within fragrance that are meant to make them stick, meaning they're meant that you spray it on and it lasts for the day. It lasts for hours. That also carries an incredible toxic load for our body. I cannot tell you how many clients come to me, we're doing a session, we get to the portion talking about liver, and their diets are relatively healthy or they have some wherewithal about what needs to happen as far as their diet. But then when I mention fragrance and toxic load, they kind of look at me and they're like, huh? What are you talking about? I have a Febreze plugged in right now or a Glade plug-in. And it's like, unplug that this minute, throw it out, and never look back. Because if you are asking your liver to balance, create, and detox any excess hormones, that is a very big job, especially if you are dealing with things like PCOS, maybe you have insulin resistance, maybe you have unexplained infertility and there are some root cause issues there. Then we need to make sure that we are optimizing the liver, we are optimizing the gut, we are optimizing these processing centers in our body. But what you are not doing when you are inhaling lots of fragrance or it's in your skincare, so you're slathering it on your skin, you are asking your liver to do more work than it already has to do. And that is where we start to get congestion, when we start to get a backlog, and that is when things start to go a little bit haywire as far as our hormones are concerned. We want to make sure that we are giving our body everything that it needs to do the job that it wants to do. Our liver wants to balance our hormones. Our liver wants to detox any excesses and any toxins. That being said, when we take the pressure off and don't add any influences that aren't necessary, that means that the job of the liver can be done with more effectiveness. And so what do you need to think about? The first thing you need to think about is scan in your mind right now. What are the products that I use that smell? that smell nice, that smell fruity, that smell this or that. I have a lot of products and I run everything through the Environmental Working Group Skin Deep app, especially from a body care and like personal care perspective. And almost every single one that I have that smells nice, even though it's like a clean and green and like natural brand, will always read higher as far as toxicity because of the fragrance. There are baby products that read very high because they smell like baby powder and they smell so nice and lovely. And those are the things that we want to get rid of immediately. There are some instances of fragrance where we can't escape it. If you go out into the world, you get into an Uber and they have an air freshener, like there's nothing you can do about that other than roll your window down. But in your home, you can use unscented products. My cream is unscented. My body wash is unscented. Everything that I use that goes on my body is unscented. And if it has scent to it, it kind of makes me feel sick. No offense. And you also want to think about how you are cleaning your home. Are you using a lot of things like Febreze? Are you using a lot of products that have like an incredible scent to them? That might feel good and be like, wow, my house feels clean and it smells so nice. That being said, that means that there is a toxic burden that will come with you using those products, and you want to remove that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link some of my favorite clean products in the description of this video so you can go and check them out. But I also just want you to remember that if you are someone that sprays a lot of air freshener, maybe get a diffuser and diffuse essential oils. They're far, 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 far better for you and less toxic load. If you are someone that is used to wearing a lot of perfume and that's something that you really like to do, you can dilute some essential oils in filtered water or distilled water and you can spray that on yourself, far less of a toxic load. But one of the sneaky ways you are getting in the way of you getting and staying pregnant is your reliance and your propensity to use things that have fragrance in them. And fragrance is everywhere. It truly is everywhere. It's in our dishwasher detergent. It's in our dishwashing liquid. It's in our laundry detergent. It's in the creams that we use. It's in some of our makeup. Open some of your makeup and you will be like, oh, that smells nice. Fragrance. Why are they putting it there? If I'm using a foundation, I don't need that to smell like lilacs. I just need it to cover any, things on my face. And so I want you to get really ruthless about getting rid of these things in your home that are super heavily fragranced. Because I always say, I'm a fertility diet and lifestyle coach. And the diet part, I always say, takes us 60% of the way. The other 40% of the way is lifestyle. And one of the biggest lifestyle modifications that you can make is making sure that you are using products that are not going to add to the toxic burden that your body has to then deal with. Because if we are trying to make hormones, manage hormones, detox hormones, also at the same time, detoxing any toxins from our body and any excess glucose from our body, that is all stuff that the liver has to do. It's a big job. And if you are adding work that is unnecessary to your liver, that is going to impact your hormonal health. And you can also see this correlated. I see this correlated very much in my clients who are like that girl. They wear a ton of makeup. They wear a ton of fragrance. They are always slathering something sweet smelling on their body. They have every single nice smelling body scrub on the market in their bathroom. And they also have incredibly painful periods. They probably have cystic acne or something going on with their skin because of what that is doing and that those habits are doing to their liver and their liver function. There are people that will sit back and say, the liver is a detox organ. We don't need to do anything for it. But I also want you to remember that when our bodies were perfectly designed hundreds of thousands of years ago, it wasn't dealing with, Bath and Body Works. It wasn't dealing with fragrance in our perfume. It wasn't dealing with any of those things. So we have to pull back and look at the big picture and say, what are the things that I have control over? One of the biggest control factors is what we put in and on our body. And what we put in our body matters. I talk about it at length, as you know. But what we put on our bodies and around our bodies also matters too. If you are heavily reliant on something like fragrance, all of your products smell nice, I want you to take a real good and hard look at those habits and make some decisions and make some changes, I would say. So where I always encourage people to start is things that you absolutely do not need. You do not need perfume. You don't. I'm so sorry, you don't. And if you really want to smell nice, like I said, essential oils diffused in a little bit of filtered water or distilled water should do it for you. Air freshener. I'm going to encourage you to just keep up on housekeeping. And I'm not calling you messy. I'm not calling you dirty. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm saying that if you are someone that's like, I want my house to smell this and smell that and cover odors, you just got to get rid of the odor, as opposed to trying to mask it with something that is making you less healthy than you deserve to be and getting in the way of your fertility. Now, the next thing that we're also going to do is look at the products that we use on our body, our makeup, the stuff we use to cream our skin. I mean, I'm a woman of color. I grew up being slathered in creams and things because ashy skin is like a crime in the person of color community. That being said, as I've grown up, I have started to lean on unscented things. I use coconut oil on my skin. I use beef tallow on my skin. Sometimes I'll use castor oil on my skin, all of which are unscented, single origin. I can just point and say it has this thing in it, as opposed to a laundry list of ingredients. Many of them are hidden under the word fragrance. And so this is such an important change that you need to make, because what we want to do is optimize our liver with the things that we are putting in our body, the foods that we are eating, the hydration that we are taking in. But we also want to make sure that we aren't adding to the load that our liver has to deal with things like fragrance and things that are, on and around our body. This is one of the sneakiest places that people are putting obstacles in their way as far as getting and staying pregnant. Fragrance will be bad for your liver and therefore bad for your egg quality, bad for your hormones and therefore bad for ovulation, bad for your liver and therefore bad for your 2-week wait. I'm telling you, I will die. I will become deceased on this hill. If it is the last thing that I say and the only thing that you take from me, fragrance needs to go. So what I want you to do today, I want you to commit to this process. I want you to think, okay, what can I do now that is going to help reduce the impact and the load that my liver has to deal with? And so go through all of your personal care products. And I'm not saying throw them out, but I'm also saying that we got to bring some mindfulness to it. So I always say again with people, things like air freshener, laundry detergent, all of those things that are relatively small investments, you can make those shifts very easily, very quickly, and relatively affordably. Makeup, I know my makeup is quite expensive because I use clean brands, but if you are using makeup that is expensive and it has fragrance to it, use it, finish it, make a change. But do the research now so when that runs out, you know exactly what you're going to get. And if you're feeling like you want bonus points, you can get rid of it now and find new things. But I want you to commit to this process because, like I said, it is one of the things that I see getting in the way of fertility, and it is going to continue to happen. And don't let anyone tell you, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. If it's so fine, why do fertility clinics say you can't have any scent, any fragrance on you? Because they know that it will cause problems in that environment, especially if they're doing egg retrievals, they're doing anything in that space. So why is it okay for you to go and spray it all over your body, right on your lymph nodes, all over the place? Natch. Your deodorant. That's a sneaky spot. Your deodorant, that is a place that you want to be very mindful because that is a lymphatic drainage area. We release toxins through our lymphatic system. We release them through our waste via our liver. But if we are clogging up the lymph system with fragrance, that is a problem. So using an unscented deodorant is kind of the way forward. I use a brand called Nude. I will also link that in the description and you can check it out. But I just want you to bring a lot of focus to this because this is something that I see a lot. And it is something that, again, it's sneaky, it's insidious, and it's also something that people don't really know about or give as much credence to it. But I always say 60% is diet, the 40% is lifestyle. And one of the biggest lifestyle modifications we can make in getting and staying pregnant is removing fragrance from our lives. I know for some of you, this is going to be a very big shift and maybe a shift that you had never even thought was something that you would need to do, but it can make a very, very big difference. If your fertility is unexplained and you don't know where it's coming from, I want you to look deeper at the lifestyle portion of what is going on. In the fertility blueprint, we talk at length in the liver workshop. It's like a 70-minute workshop, and we talk all about how to optimize liver. But you want to make sure you stack that on top of the lifestyle piece, which is making sure that it's as clean as possible. And that isn't like, not clean girl aesthetic and all of that. It's not that. It's just about making sure that we aren't placing obstacles in our way as we are trying to get pregnant and stay pregnant, and make sure that we have as healthy a vessel as possible to carry your beautiful miracle. Because that's what all of this is. We are trying to encourage, empower, and fortify our body to do the miraculous. It is a miracle. Again, I will say that until I am blue in the face. But what we can do is support this miracle of life by making sure that your body has every single resource available, but we aren't also adding anything to the body that it has to work through. Simply put. So if you like this video, please comment, please like, please share, and of course, please subscribe. I love sharing this type of information with you because these are things that you might not get connected to in a fertility space, or even with some, people that are helping you out with your fertility, because it can be one of those things that's so pervasive in our society that we kind of just forget, but it is important. So if you take nothing from me today other than to go through your cupboards, go through your makeup, go through everything, and whatever has fragrance in it, make a mental note that it is time to change that up. And I'll see you next time.